Oh.
What are you doing? You're ruining our set.
No, we use that as a guide.
Seamus, you're ruining our set.
Let's start the show. Welcome to Fiber Hustle. My name is Chip.
My name is Aaron.
And this is Seamus. I like to sew and quilt.
I like to knit and crochet.
And he likes to just be on the spot.
He likes to tear our set up.
Happy 2020, everybody.
Happy 20. You didn't say your catchphrase.
I did.
I don't think you said it. And
What?
you like...
And you like to watch.
There.
I know you
Okay.
do.
There we are. Okay.
Yes.
We're fine now. Happy 2020. Happy New Year.
Yes. Happy New Year. And welcome to Fiber Hustle.
Everything's happening. Yes. Everything's happening right now.
All right. So we place these little markers on the table so that when we have the little camera, the phone shooting down, we know where the marker is. But apparently Seamus is all into our markers. So
Yes, he jumped up here and just started wreaking havoc on everything. So
yes. So Happy New Year to all. I know we've
Cheers.
covered that, but I got my go-go.
I have 7-Up today. So
We're good to go.
it's delicious.
So Aaron, I know that you have been crafting.
I have been. You gotta stop eating this, please.
Oh, and by the way, I know that Christmas has come and went.
This is a late
So
Christmas.
this is our wrapping up Christmas and welcome to the New Year episode.
Or are we so ahead of the game that we're ready for next Christmas?
I like that.
Yeah, that's how we do it here at Fiber Hustle. So I don't even know where we want to start today, but you gonna go get it? Yes, he is. He's gonna go get it. Okay.
He'll be back.
So where do we want to start today? I mean,
So
it's
let's
a new
go.
year.
Let's go with some. You made that.
You made that. Okay. So last December has been kind of just, it's been a busy month at work, at home, all that good stuff. So I haven't had time to actually sit down and do complete projects. So I've been kind of December experimenting in things. When I say experimenting, I'm talking different yarn sizes, crochet and knitting, playing with some color work, putting things together that maybe shouldn't be together, that kind of thing. So let me show you some snowflakes that I created in December. I found 2 patterns online that were free. It's a Smooth Fox's Holiday Star, which is one of them. And is that Petite? Yes, Petite Star. The Petite Star. And I found this one. So I mostly went with the Smooth Fox's Holiday Star because it just seemed like the easiest. There's a lot of great star patterns out there, but some of them are a little bit above my crochet skills. So I just started...
They're above your pay grade.
Yes, I just started making star after star.
What was the first one?
The very first one I made, all scrap yarn. I didn't want to spend money. So basically I stash dived the whole month of December for pretty much everything I made. So here's one. I think I made it out of Noro yarn. It's a thicker, chunkier weight. And it came out like that. I'll show you the ones that I blocked and show you the ones I didn't block. So I blocked this one. Example, I didn't block this one. I went down to, I think, a 3 millimeter crochet hook. And this is made out of some scrap leftovers I had of Hedgehog Fibers yarn. This was Noro. And as you can see, I didn't block it, so I didn't have time to, not time it, but if I did block it, it would have been more kind of like that. More pointy and do things. Then once I got around to doing different things, I started to block them in different ways to make them stiffer. Some of them worked better than others. This is just some acrylic white yarn held double with this exact Hedgehog Fibers yarn, and I think it's Kimono Dragon. I think that's what it is. I forget what it is right now. So I just kind of held them together. So I held a worsted and a fingering weight together just to see what would happen.
These are really, really beautiful.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
So what I like about these is that they say snowflake.
Yeah.
And I like that it's just a little pop of color. Mm-hmm. And you did or you did not block this?
I did block this. I blocked all of these. And this one, this is made out of I think Hawthorne, what is it? Knit Picks Hawthorne yarn. It was a fingering weight, as well as this one. So to block these, I put them out, and then I sprayed them with, is it Niagara? I don't know why I said is this, whatever. Niagara Original Hold.
Starch.
And it's a starch, and I wasn't sure how much hold it was going to give. And as you can tell, it's not like drooping over like this one. There's one of the, like this one I didn't block, so you can kind of see how it goes like this. And this one I did. It just has a little bit more stiffness to it. And I just wanted even stiffer than this. So that's when I went and raided our cupboard, and I found this cornstarch, which says Best Buy 2012. I don't know why it's been in our cupboard that long. I'm assuming we haven't used it for anything. It was like really deep in the back of the cupboard, which is that time of year, which is you clean stuff out like this. And then I blocked these 3 items.
So you actually started blocking. You originally blocked it with just water.
Yes.
And then you just decided, oh, I'm going to spray starch, which is what you did with this one.
Yeah, I sprayed the hell out of it.
And then just let it air dry.
Yeah. It took a couple days, probably 1 or 2 days. And this one, I probably put about a little bit over a tablespoon, and then about that much water, which doesn't make sense because that much water could be a pan this big or this big. And on one of our kind of Tupperware pans, so probably about that big. So about a ½ inch of water, a tablespoon of cornstarch, stirred it up, put it in the microwave for about a minute. It came out much thicker. So then I laid it in the cornstarch for a while, kind of did the whole back and forth thing. Then I took it over and blocked it. And as you can see, it's a little bit, it's crunchy, but it's much stiffer than the others.
So it holds its form.
Yeah, it holds its form.
Didn't do anything to color.
No, this one has kind of a little bit of chunks in it from the cornstarch, but I think this is the last one I did. And I think it started, once it was thick and it started to cool down, it kind of chunked up a little bit. This right here, I used some amberish colored, I think acrylic yarn, and I had some metal yarn in my stash for some reason, which I don't know what to do with it. So it was a good time to experiment because I made this and this one out of that metal yarn held with another yarn, which this more looks like kind of like a pot holder.
So it does,
kind of thing.
It looks like a pot holder. It's very like from above, it just looks like a big halo.
Yeah, pretty much.
A big halo mess. But I mean, like when you're looking at it, it's definitely got the star.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm sorry, you did the cornstarch treatment on this one.
Not this one. These 3 right here. I did the cornstarch. You can see
so this one you just did water or nothing?
I don't remember. I think it's just water. I might have sprayed it.
He went crazy making snowflakes.
Yeah. I mean, like I have a bunch of snowflakes I didn't block. This one I didn't block, but it's kind of thick and kind of stayed the same way. This one, a little one I made, I didn't block him. I didn't block this guy. This I was just holding together with 2 fingering weights, just went up a hook size. I think this is a 4.5. This I held with a green, and again, the same hedgehog fibers, and it came out like this, and I didn't block that one yet. And Chip had some, is this saris?
So it's sari yarn. So it's made from recycled sari dresses, and we thought, well, okay, let's try. I was going to use it for just projects, trying to be creative. If you wanted to do some accents on top of fabric, like some kind of thread that was going around that is just much bigger. That is challenging.
It was a nightmare to work with because I kept on going up hook sizes, and it would knot up really quickly, and it just wasn't a pleasure to work with. And
lay it flat.
You can't really even tell that it was a snowflake. And I did block this one, and I did spray it with starch. So that was kind of a miss. But again, it was just playing with different sizes of hooks, different yarns held together, different ways of kind of blocking. And it was just exploring. I didn't, like I said, I didn't have time to really make one project and sit down with it, but I had time to kind of just explore through my December of different ways that things would look and how they come out.
So most of these are the holiday star. That's the...
Yeah.
Most of them are this.
What is it? Smooth Fox Holiday Star.
And what was the other one?
The other one is, so that's, this
The
is...
Petite Star.
Yeah, this one's Smooth Fox, and this one's the Petite Star. And there's a couple of those in there as well.
Well,
Yeah.
it's fun. I mean, so are you going to make... Are these going to be ultimately things that you'll hang on the tree? Like that one I would.
Maybe like like our chandelier, not chandelier, well, whatever is in the front hall right there. Just kind of have them hanging down.
Absolutely. I think your most successful ones were these.
No, I know you like those one a lot. Which again, this, kind of hold it here. This is just a combination of these two yarns, the hedgehog and the acrylic worsted, held together. Boom, you get that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally great. Love, love, love.
Well, that's what I made.
Okay, so me?
Yeah.
Okay, so I downloaded and I had a little cheat sheet, a little card that I put together for myself so I would know my notes.
Notes.
What did I do? So online, I went to Etsy and of course, I don't have my little cue card. Okay.
Where can I look? What's this?
That is it. Okay, so I went to Easy Patchwork Shop on Etsy, and I picked up 2 different patterns that were immediate download. One was called Santa Baby, and that is this guy. So this is a paper piecing project, and dude, it took me a long time to get this accomplished. I was like, okay, let's do something that's really festive. And you can see I used a couple of different reds. So in most of like the Santa hat, his uniform, and the bag, all of his outfit was one red. The other red I got was like, oh, if he's been up and down the tree, maybe the bag's getting sooty. Mm-hmm. Not
That's
the
true.
tree, the chimney. Yeah. So, and then I used shiny fabric for his boots and for his belt. And even on the pattern, there's no eyes, there's no facial features. And so I just kind of went with the pattern. What I loved most was working with this cork fabric. And it does actually have a grain. And I tried my best to make sure that the grain was going, for the most part, widthways. And this cork it's obviously it's not real cork. You can buy cork by the yard, and I don't even know how they make it. But this is like, I don't even know what this made of. It's like...
You don't think any of it's real cork?
I
like
think
they
it's
just kind of shave it?
I think it's almost like vinyl, and they just imprint it. I was actually thinking about doing a different project with this cork and like dyeing it black or like a midnight blue, and maybe make some bags for you. I think that would really turn out well. But it was fun. I got some fuzzy white fabric, and everything was scraps.
That looks great.
Along with Santa Baby is a little Christmas tree.
I didn't even notice that it was sparkly till just now.
Oh yeah. Huzzah.
Huzzah!
And you can see, you're just doing right on the pattern. I haven't ripped the paper off because I'm thinking about just putting these inside of a frame and then have like a white border and just like something like you put up on the wall.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple of spirited elves. And we have one that's in blue, because you like blue, and one that's in green, because I like green. So
It's us.
We are spirited elves.
We got the spirit. We had the spirit this year.
It was very, very time consuming. I think it took me like 4 days to put all these together.
Did you really take that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was some pieces like in just around the head and the face. These are some small pieces that you have to sew and then iron. This ironed up really well. It didn't scorch. I didn't lay anything over it to protect the cork, and it really behaved well. And I think once it's in a frame, it'll all just go even. There's a lot of bulk that you can see right now, but I think once it's laid out in the mat,
Yeah.
with a matte background, it'll be fine.
Nice.
But if you're interested, go to Easy Patchwork Shop. First one was Santa Baby. The second one was Spirited Elves. And they came with many different styles. You could do different hairstyles. You could do little pom-poms on the end of their caps if you wanted. You could do male, female. There was different kinds of dress. They gave you a lot for this download kit.
Nice.
So
Are these male or female?
these are what I'm considering male.
Okay.
Or whatever your,
Unisex.
whatever your preference is, however you want to look at them. Again, no faces. It's just as is.
An elf has no face.
No, that's, the girl has no name.
A girl has no name, that's it. Hang it.
Okay, so that was my little Christmas jaunt.
Nice.
All right, so
Let me
where
check.
are we on time?
Before people think I'm bored, keep on looking at my phone. We usually stream our camera to our computer. That way we can see ourselves and stop recording because our camera cuts off every 30 minutes. We had an update to the computer and now we can't see ourselves and we can't update. So I have a timer here going that I need to run over and turn this off. And I just didn't want people,
Restart the
people
camera.
that think that I was bored with Chip speaking. So that kind of thing.
all right, so
yes.
we've got about 10 minutes, so
we got to before we had to. Can we show this real quick?
yes.
Because it's adorable. Our friend Jedi Dragoon, Jennifer from the Jedi Dragoon podcast on YouTube, made us the cutest Christmas card of us. It's Chip and I as an elf and Santa. And she hand drew this, and it's like one of the cutest things I've ever seen. It looks like you even had glasses on.
Jennifer, the artwork I loved. This was very sweet.
It was very sweet. She took the time
I mean,
to actually
who
draw us.
does that? Who goes and gives you a handmade card? And it is very sweet. And I love like the detail. We've got a sewing machine. She's got all my colorful fabrics. Some reason you have intestines.
No, that is flair.
Flair.
I thought you were going to say I don't have a gray beard. Well, just for men.
No, I love it. She gave me glasses.
Yeah, I think it's great art. And she sent me a couple gifts.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
She sent me some of this yarn. Lodi did it, Low Original. It's Dog Pond. I don't know why I said dog. Probably because it's DAWG. Dog Pond yarn, which is fingering, which is very awesome. And she also sent me
I love these colors.
El Chupacabra, Yarn of the Month, May 2018, and a little mini skein. And she put a note on it that says that you do not have to make socks out of this because she knows I do not make socks yet. So I thought these were awesome colors, and I thank you so much for sending these to me.
Low Original.
The Low Original from Low. I've never used these yarns before, but I see people post about them all the time. So I'm very excited to do something.
I really love these colors, these fall colors.
It's almost Cleveland brown colors as well. But she is from Ohio, so maybe that you don't know what that means. Why are you lying? Why are you trying to be cool in front of the camera? I know all about football. And she sent you a couple of things as well.
Jennifer, thank you. You were very generous. And I got actually double quantities of each of these three different, everybody's got a different name from them. Some people call them jelly rolls. Some people call them,
Slices?
I don't know, but yeah, some people these are called
Because
slices.
they're called slices?
So who is it? There is a company that is actually, they registered the name, like they patented the name jelly rolls. So it's kind of like a Kleenex, like other people have it's like a soft tissue. Well, so anyway, these are jelly rolls. And she sent me, isn't there a third one? No, you grabbed two.
There's a couple more under the tree. I think I didn't grab them.
We are literally right by the tree.
Which will come down this weekend.
Here it is.
Grab it, grab it.
Okay, so we got these. That matches this. 1, 2. There was 4? There are 4.
I think there was...
Yeah, she went crazy. Okay, so we've got 2 of these. 2 of those, and then these match. So, Jennifer, I've already got a plan. Erin's been begging me for another one of the those rugs.
The
Weaved rugs.
Jelly roll rug.
And I like these colors would go perfect with your bathroom. So, thanks a lot for giving me another project to do.
Yay! I want a rug.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you're going to get one.
Yay!
Love it, love it, love it,
Love it.
Thank you very much. Oh, and actually, she has her own podcast.
I mentioned that. It's the Jedi Dragoon Makes podcast on YouTube. She does, seems like the theme is mostly in the summertime. She's showing you her vegetable garden and giving you vegetable and growing tips. And during the wintertime, it's mostly crochet and knitting. So she has both. It's
How do you have time for that?
It's kind of an all-over podcast. And I think she's actually doing one. I don't think it's part of her Jedi Dragoon Makes podcast that she's gaming, or she's going to start to do stuff with gaming. Because I think
What
she
kind of
plays.
gaming?
I think she plays World of Warcraft. I never played, so I can't give you. I don't know anything about the game except for people really get into it and they love it. I like gaming, but
I like it as long as it's my Oculus Rift.
Oh yes,
My Quest.
He loves his Quest and that
Virtual reality.
saber game.
One thing I wanted to come back to, so I got a Christmas gift. So we do Christmas every other year. And so this was an on year. Where
We decorate every year, but we
Exchange gifts.
gift exchange every other year.
Yeah. So on my list, I wanted to. So our list consists of Amazon. And so it's very easy. We point our noses to exactly what it is that, hey, this might be something you should buy me. So one of the things, let me have the stiffener. One of the things was I wanted this
Stiffener.
fabric stiffener and draping liquid. And this happens to be Aleen's. There's different manufacturers out there. I have no experience with this. And this, you take a portion of this, dilute it with water, and then you can actually drape fabric maybe over a balloon or whatever it is that you're trying to make an impression of, and the fabric will actually stiffen up, which I have no idea what I might make. People have made like ghosts.
Okay.
So for Halloween, they'll have little ghosts that they make, and then they hang them up. Or you can make like a stiff bat, whatever your imagination can take you. So I thought, oh, well, that might be fun. But I thought maybe with your snowflakes, you could try that and see
if it stiffens them up more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this
This one hasn't been blocked at all, so we can try that.
This is not supposed to stain or dye your make, but you can actually add acrylic-based paint. You can mix with this, and let's say you're working with like a white gauze or you're working with something all white, you can actually paint it on in a different color.
And then stiffen it that way?
And stiffen it that way. So maybe that's something that you could try.
Yeah, I'll totally try it.
If any of you guys have experience with this, we'd love to hear about it. Give us kind of ideas. I thought it would be very cool if I could have some kind of fabric sculpture that was just like suspended in
Like a
midair.
wave? Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's pretty much no limit, just your own imagination.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, thank you, Santa.
You're so welcome.
All right, so
Let's go back to me and playing around. So I made 2 hats recently, and the inspiration, Greg, who we follow on, and he follows us on Instagram, has been doing some color work, and we talk every once in a while through DM and stuff like that. And he's a newer knitter. I'm like, well, Greg is doing color work. Why can't I be doing color work? So he's doing I think a stocking right now and has penguins and stuff on it, which looks really cool. So I tried my first color work attempt at a hat for a few weeks. I'll probably lay it right here. I was trying to get fiber hustle in it just to kind of play around with letters and stuff. So I drew it out on
grid paper.
Let me see if I can show you. So for weeks I've been trying to get the right size. Like, do I want it bigger than this? Do I want it smaller than that? It also depends how many stitches. Then I was flipping through The Strange Brew by Tin Can Knits, which is a pattern book that gives you ideas on how you can make your own yoke for sweaters, how you can make color work for cows and hats and everything like that. And that's cow, not cow. And I was kind of drawing things out. And then I colored in my letters, and then I started to cast on, and it gives you great information how many stitches they think you'll need for large, medium, small hat, and fingering weight, and DK weight, and Aran weight. So I took the ingredients for the DK weight, made a large hat, which I think I can actually make a little bit longer, or a little bit wider, because this is very tight. But I think it's very tight because if you notice, I don't know if you can notice here, when I start doing the letters, let me come up here, it kind of looks like ribbing. And that's, I think, just a first time mistake, because I don't think I know how to knit properly yet with color, especially with this many lines filled in. So yeah, this is the first one I made, fiber hustled, and it gives you instructions how to close the hat. I am very happy and impressed with it for my first hat. Much tighter at the top, again with the letters. Still trying to figure out how to hold my yarn. I do continental knitting or / picking, and so I kind of just wrapped it around, and then I would put my main color on top of my knuckle and the non-main color at the bottom of my knuckle, and would just kind of pick that way. I also do.
Well, so question for you. So you're talking about, and this is probably going to go over my head, but you're talking about how this may be too tight because it's raised. Isn't that kind of a feature though? Because to me it looks like it's embossed.
It shouldn't be raised. It should be flat all the way.
But isn't that a design? That could be a design choice.
It could, but the reason it's raised is because it's bunching up. It's like so tight that it's kind of like bunching up like that.
Right, which I kind of like.
Yeah, but then it doesn't fit.
But then how do you offset that so that if you wanted that, this may be, again, above your pay grade. If you wanted to have that embossed look, you could compensate. My brain tells me, someone who does not knit, that you could compensate when you're not on that color work. Like here, there's got to be a way to make up for that so that this will stay embossed. I don't know. I like that look.
Okay. I mean, I don't mind it. I haven't blocked these either. So once I block it, it might come out a little bit more. But I'm sure there's like a way to make it puffier, basically, is what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I like how this is pronounced.
Okay.
It's like, I like, not only is that a strong color, it's very distinctive, but at the same time, I like more of an embossed look.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
That's something I can also research. But yeah, this is the large and the DK size. Then I was just kind of going through, this is all scrap yarn I've been using. Like, I think this is part of my, one of the sweaters I made from one of my Stephen West patterns. This is something I made from a hat that my friend Beth sent me. So I've just been kind of combining, because you have all this scrap yarn, you're kind of like, what do I do with it? And I was looking through the Strange Brew Tin Can Knits book again, and I just kind of took ideas from some things that they showed in there, how to make different patterns. And I just went for it. And this time I know I didn't knit as tightly, so I think it turned out better than this hat. But I think also that maybe this is so bunched up because it's actually letters and not kind of going back and forth. Not back and forth. I don't know what I'm saying right now. So yeah, this one I made in the Aran weight, even though this is mostly worsted. Just to see, I wanted to see how it would come out and if it was any bigger than this hat. And it actually is a little bit bigger. That's probably stupid to lay on top of that. But
which one's bigger?
it fits. This I made the medium size, which I know I'm a large because I don't like things that, I haven't obviously winded my ends yet a little bit. Oh. I don't like when hats fit like a skull cap like this. So I know I need to go up a size, and also I like it when the brim is folded up. So I need to make this 4 inches instead of 2 inches. That way I can fold it up. But no, so far I'm really enjoying working with color work. I just need to figure out how to do it correctly, if there's any tips and tricks. I know a lot of people will pick in their left hand and throw in their right hand. I can't hold the yarn correctly when I try to throw, so that's not, it could be an option if I really practice. So I'm just looking for more options of how to pick correctly with my left hand holding 2 strings. And I did order something that looks like a spring that has a loop here and has a loop on the other side to keep your yarns further apart. So I'm going to try that once it comes in. I ordered it from China, so it could take a whole month to come in. I'll let you guys know how to do that. But I'm very excited. It's just about yarn tension at the moment. And I'm noticing that this color was probably not the right color. Basically, I needed more solid colors for this to pop more. Like these should look like kind of like O's.
For more definition.
Yeah, more definition O's, and then things in the red in the middle should pop more. But there's so much color in this gray one with different things. It's just.
And actually, yeah. So there's some of this. So there's some of this same color that repeats in here.
Yeah, correct.
Which confuses the issue.
Yeah, I mean, I still love it and like it, but it could have been. It's all scrap yarn. It's all learning opportunity.
It could have been more finished.
And that's what December is all about, or was about for me. But no, I'm loving it. I don't know.
I love the top.
I was going to say, I don't know if I like the top.
No, I love that.
So I'm still kind of want to see if I can play around with different top closings as well.
No. I love that.
Yeah, and this one maybe I can give to my nephew or something because it's
like a starfish.
I mean, this one is tight, you all. Especially, it's way too tight. But again, learning opportunity. And we're gonna make it nice. Now it's a beret.
It's a beret for a Cabbage Patch.
Right here has a little beret. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on, more color work. Someday I eventually want to make a yoke for a sweater, and that's why I'm playing around with all these hats so I can try to make my own yoke for my sweater. And I was like, I don't know if I want to start a sweater right away because I knew there was going to be a lot of tension problems. So why not do a lot of tension problems in a little hat first before I go move on to something bigger. Chip would have just started the sweater and been done with it, but I wanted to play more around and see what I can do.
No, I mean, for me, that is...
Yeah, if you have scrap yarn and are afraid of color work, just try it and order that Strange Brew Tin Can Knits book. It's very helpful. It has several patterns in there. It gives you several recipes of how to do things from small, medium, large, fingering weight, DK weight, Aran weight, and it's a good read, and it lets you jump in the kiddie pool, then swim over to the deep end. It's awesome. I love it.
Question for you.
Question?
Did you say thank you for the pattern?
To Tin Can Knits?
To Jennifer. Didn't she send you a pattern? I thought you exchanged patterns.
Yeah, I forget what. Sorry. Yes.
Jennifer, there was a pattern.
She sent me a pattern last month, and she sent me a new one, and I forget what it is. But thank you for putting me on the spot, making me look like an a-hole. She did send me a pattern, and that's why I didn't mention it when we were talking about this stuff, because I don't remember which one it was.
Oops.
Thank you.
It's all a blur. Okay, so we're good. So we're...
But I did send her Paris to yours.
Oh, you did?
Because I'm going to knit that one again. And if you saw the last episode, I knit Paris to yours. People have been commenting it a lot at home and at home. Seamus and Chip have been commenting on a lot. People at work are in love with it. So I'm going to knit it again. And I even talked about in my Instagram post and Facebook post, maybe I'd do it in a knit along. And some people sounded like they were all about it. But I've never led.
Do you like yarn?
Yeah.
And do you like the knitting community? I bet you do.
Yes. So we talked about doing a knit along, but I've never done a knit along. So if you're interested in doing the Paris to yours knit along with me, I'll reach out to those people on Instagram and on Facebook who commented. And I'm thinking if we did something like that, again, we don't have anywhere to post like Ravelry. We don't have a Ravelry group and all that stuff. I'm thinking about starting on January 18th, which is a Saturday, which gives you 2 weeks to find your yarn. It's fingering weight or DK weight. It is a paid pattern if you would like to knit it. Here's some pictures of me wearing it and modeling it. It's a very simple pattern, so if it's your first knit along, it should be easy and fun. I'm not going to make you do anything like post once or twice a day or anything like that, but I'm saying like January 18th, maybe post the yarn that you're going to use for it, then continue posting, you just kind of knitting it. Maybe you're knitting it on the bus, maybe you're at a coffee shop and knitting it. Then we can all post the very last day, let's say on February, maybe February 15th, so that gets us a month to do it. It's not that hard a pattern. Then February 15th, everybody post day after Valentine's Day. Maybe post you wearing it or your finished object.
I wholeheartedly support you.
Thank you. Like I said, it's not going to be a typical knit along because we don't have the outlets and stuff of where to post stuff every day, and it's an easy pattern.
Actually, they could do it on our Facebook page, Fiber Hustle.
Yes, Facebook or...
And we're back.
Hello. How are you?
So yeah, so like...
And the people that did post on the Instagram and Facebook, I'll reach out to personally and see if they still would like to be involved. Yes.
All right, so we'll come up with a name. We're going to put it right here of what the hashtag should be.
I thought about just Fiber Hustle knit along, but then I thought Fiber Hustle in Paris.
Fiber Hustle in Paris. There you go.
Fiber Hustle in Paris is what you would tag, and you would kind of just follow it and encourage people. If it's if you've never done it before, this is the perfect one for you because it's going to be a pretty repetitive pattern. So there's no tricks or anything like that, but the payoff is just amazing. It looks great, and I hope that you can join it or join us for it.
So by the 18th,
January 18th.
January 18th, you go ahead and post the
yarn you're going to
use on Facebook
or Instagram.
Fiber Hustle in Paris. Mm-hmm. And then
that's the hashtag.
That's the hashtag. And then the actual knit along starts on when? The 19th?
The same day.
The same day.
You post the yarn and then you start and you get going.
And how long do people have? When does this go through?
Till February 15th.
February 15th.
February 15th. So that gives you about a month, and it's pretty repetitive. Once you get going, you're going to be fine. You can even work on other projects because I think it took me less than a month to finish mine when I did it. And you can stray from the pattern. A lot of people, the pattern has a big garter section at the very bottom, but some people put big garter sections during the middle there. So you don't have to follow the pattern exactly. So
love it.
I'm excited. So if 1 or 2 people do it, that's all that matters. Let's just knit it, have fun, and have your friends envy you when you wear this around town. It's Isabel Kramer pattern, Paris Toujours, and I will talk to you more about it at some other point.
Okay, so it's me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I know I'm going to switch gears, but you were talking about like just going for it, just practicing, no rules. And it's funny because even though we have two different crafts,
Yes.
you do,
Awesome stuff.
yes,
And you quilt.
and you were using your grid to decide how you were going to map out your hat. Well, it's funny because we work really in the same ways. I made a quilt top within my Christmas break, and I have had no idea what I was going to make when I started. I started out with going to my AccuQuilt. Seamus, we'll put it right here.
It's going to be a distraction.
So I went to my AccuQuilt Mix and Match companion set. This is the 8-inch cube. And I went in and got the kite die. So I started out with a kite die, and I just said, okay, I know that I'm going to do red and white, and just started making a block. That turned into these, I don't know if you want to call them pinwheels or whatever, but I took 5 of each color kite. Seamus, hey buddy.
Kind of in the way. Here.
I took 5 of each and then made a pinwheel. And then I ended up with 30 different pinwheels. Then I took my round die and just cut into a different fabric all these circles, 30 of them. And I just kind of put them right in the middle. And then I took a fussy cut from Martelli's. All you do is lay it down, and it gives you a 6.5-inch square. And I wasn't discriminating where I was placing it. I tried to be as random as possible. And then I ended up with these squares.
I didn't realize that's how you made those.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you did all this and then did that.
So that gave me my initial center of the block. And then I thought, okay, well, now I'm going to start surrounding the block. So I took a 1.5-inch strip with my AccuQuilt. And I think this is the 1.5-inch strip. And then just made a border around the initial block. And I forgot to mention, I did a blanket stitch all the way around each circle just to make sure that when I appliqued those on, that they were going to stay. So I did my 1.5-inch border, and then I took another, and I did that in both colors. And then I did a 1-inch, another border, and I just kept building up. And then again, I had no idea what my end result was going to be, and I just loved it because it was like little by little. I'm watching every movie during Christmas where they're saving the farm.
Every movie this Christmas.
And why is it during Christmas that we actually watch those movies with the worst acting, the worst plot line, the most rehashed and reused plot line?
It is. It's always, especially Hallmark, it's always the girl who has to go home to save the candy factory, the farm,
to meet a new love.
B&B. She has an a-hole boyfriend back home, then she meets the dream man of her life at her old hometown, which I don't understand why everybody's like rooting for her because she's actually cheating on this new person, but whatever.
So I've watched all those, and this is what they inspired, and
mayhem.
I just loved it because it was like this was one of those projects where I didn't know where I was going, but then little by little, as I was building on it, it started fleshing itself out. And like you are mapping things out, I did the same thing. I said, oh, okay, well, I want to form like an X. So I ended up having, how this one has a double border. So I went double border, double border, double border. These had L's, and then I did the reverse. So it was like, I just kind of just kept building it. And the funny thing is, I used to make these kind of shapes. This is what I used to doodle when I was a kid. Like, I always would just make patterns.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like, oh, what does a line do? And just like playing with lines.
I made trees all the time. I was like a tree maker.
Yeah. And so, like, they say, like, you should sketch and sketch and sketch. Like, and it's good for, it's good for your mind. It's good for your creativity. And it was a great way for me to just keep building and building. And then when we finally had all of the pieces laid out, and I was like, okay, done sketching. These are my blocks. I ended up with 30 blocks, and the entire thing turned out to be 65 by 80. Wow. So there's 6 rows, 5 columns. And then I was like, oh, okay. Well, I knew I was starting to want an entire red side, an entire white side, but then I thought, well, that might be just a little too much. And then I was like, oh, well, what if I just reverse the center row, and then that just breaks it all up. And I kind of love it because I still get like my little crosses here. It's just the mirror image, so it didn't affect the overall pattern that I was developing, but it gave it more interest instead of saying, oh, well, you've got 2 quilts there. So it was
that
fun.
Supposed to be a lap blanket that turned into much larger?
This is more picnic size, but yeah, it was supposed to be like more of a lap blanket, but of course it just grew. But it's not a king size.
It's not a king size.
It's not a king size.
Very true.
So the next thing I will do on that is actually quilt it. And Erin has already made mention that I've made a lot of quilt tops, but I haven't done a lot of quilting.
You haven't. I can think of 4 quilt tops you made in 2019 that haven't been quilted.
Yeah, so
And I was looking through our Instagram page of everything we made this year. There's some impressive stuff on there, but I'm like, you haven't finished a quilt top since wintertime last year.
I know. So we're gonna have to get that fixed.
Get it.
Okay. So what do we got next?
We have, I don't know where to start. I did make a bow tie. Look at this. Look how cute it is.
You made that?
I did make that. It is, I don't know how to pronounce the name. Gestrikt. What happened? Because I don't know how to pronounce the name?
No. He went away with the string.
Oh, did he? Okay. Well, he's enjoying it very much. So, Gestrikt, and it's by Malia Mather. And Stephen West was on the picture of him wearing the bow tie. So I don't know if this Malia Mather and Stephen West are kind of friends, or they came up with it together or anything. But again, leftover yarn, was looking for something just to try that I haven't tried before. And I think it turned out pretty good. One thing that I did wish I would have done differently is it's a free pattern. So you make this part first, the long kind of bow tie part. Then you make the circle part that the bow tie goes in. And I made this a little bit longer right here because I was like, how the heck am I going to be able to fit this whole thing through this little hole? And so I made it a little bit bigger, and then it actually went through the little hole. And I think if it was tighter, it would have made these a little bit more, stretched out bow tie-ish instead of just kind of flat.
So you wanted more of a pinch.
Yeah, more of a pinch. And if I would have done the correct size, it would have pinched a little bit more.
Can't you just cut it?
I can, but...
Cut it? See, that's why I like fabric. You can do that stuff with fabric.
You can do that. You can do that stuff with fabric. So I wish I would have made it the original size, but literally I was like, how's that going to fit in there? That's what she said. And then I made what is this called?
The band?
The band, and put a button on, which I don't know if I can actually put it on for you all because somebody else has to put it on. But no, I think it's very cute, and I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, it's a free pattern on Ravelry if you would like to make a bow tie. I say I've been busy and I haven't done much, but looks like I've made a lot because I have one more thing. Do you have anything else to show?
So that's the thing, is like, when I was making all this paper piecing, like the only other thing that I've made, it's like paper piecing takes forever.
Yes.
So I also did the Giucy Giuce pineapple, and this is this is supposed to be where you stop, and I think this is, we're gonna call it 5 inches. This is a lot of work. It's like I just kept going and going and going, and I had a total of 8 different ornaments to make, and I was just like, I just felt like I wasn't getting anywhere.
Okay.
So it's like I'm watching you, finish another hat, finish this, finish that, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm not getting anywhere. So that's when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go big.
Go big. I get it.
And that's when I made the quilt.
Nice.
This one I think I'm also gonna put in the in a frame, a mat with a mat around it.
I like that one a lot. I do.
You can have it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Speaking of going big, a couple weeks ago, I was looking for a pattern that I can probably do in a weekend because I just want a pattern I can do in a weekend. I had this Malabrigo Rasta yarn, which has been sitting in my stash for at least 2 years. I got it on clearance because it was at a place that was going out of business, which I felt bad about, but I was like, I want this yarn.
This is so soft.
It's amazingly soft. Malabrigo Rasta. I don't remember the colorway of it. Let's just say a grayish, dark gray. And the pattern is Twist of Fate Cow by Katherine Johnson. And it was a paid for pattern. Not many people have knit it up. Sometimes I just go through Ravelry and don't look for what's hot. I put like what's the new, what's not hot. What are the newest items? And just kind of scroll through there just to give different things a chance. I love it. It took me, I think, a day and a half, but that's a day and a half playing The Floor is Lava, like literally sitting on the couch all day long, just watching Netflix and knitting. But it's almost like a honeycomb stitch. This pattern instructions were super easy. My only concern is with my beard. I'm afraid I'm gonna tear this up if I wear it. So I might if you want it, you can have it. But I'm afraid me taking this on and off, going shh, 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 is gonna ruin this right away. But
this is so
and that's not the yarn's
soft.
fault, the pattern's fault. That's just my beastly hair man's fault.
Yeah, so
super soft. Put it on. Model it.
Yeah. Ladies, if you've got a beard.
If you got a beard, work it. But yeah.
I don't know. I think this is so beautiful. Like, why can't we make this one stiff?
Why would you want to make that stiff?
We can make this into art.
No. That's a dumb idea. It's going to touch the microphone a little bit. But yeah, when you're out there.
No, it's definitely, I mean, like, that'll do the job.
Yeah. I love it. So.
Very nice.
Yes, thank you very much. And again, it takes chunky yarn. There's several different chunky yarns out there you can use. So I say go for it. Once again, Twist of Fate Cow by Katherine Johnson. And I got stuff on my nose now. And I am going to give it to someone I know just because I don't want to ruin it with my beard. Because I can just see this already scratching here and being all a hot mess.
You could wear an under thing.
What's an under thing?
Like a slip, like a neck slip.
That's going to look attractive.
Line it. Do people line their can you have a lined scarf?
I think so. The inside out looks all right as well. Obviously, you don't see the definition.
I bet you I could line that.
Could you?
Yes, I could actually take. I had some lining.
Do you have gray or red?
I might have black.
That could work as well.
So, and I would just stitch, like, not a tight stitch, but I wouldn't do it on this to begin with. I would experiment, but I bet you could have this lined.
Okay. That can work, but then is it going to be too hot for our climate?
Well, no. I mean, you're wearing that when it's like Armageddon.
Yeah, well, we haven't had Armageddon.
Snowmageddon.
Yeah, insane. Whatever. The weather's weather, but we haven't had any really, really cold days this year so far. Mm-hmm. Everybody's been we've had a lot of rain lately, which we didn't have for a while, so that's nice. What else you got? Like, I have nothing I'm working on. Again, starting the Paris de Jours again on January 18th, which is a Saturday. If you're going to join in our little knit-along, my little knit-along, Fiber Hustle in Paris, get your yarn ready. You can use Red Heart. You can use scrap yarn. You can use local indie dyed yarn. And don't care what yarn you use. Just make it. Go to Ravelry. Look at all the pictures that people have made. It's a really cool pattern that is a few years old that I just found, and I'm head over heels for it. Look at this.
Had to have it.
Had to have it because of the price.
So one of our local stores is closing Sad Squish. And so I was like, oh, come on, let's pop in there, just see it. I haven't been there in like a month. Mm-hmm. And they had 80% off in the window.
Everything 80%.
Almost everything is gone. But they happen to have 2 bolts of Kona cotton wide fabric, which means that this is like your normal fabric is 42. This is 108. So this is doubled over, which this usually people will use for backing. But I also love that for making this. So this whole bolt, I think it was like 16 or 17 yards of double wide, was like $30.
Wow.
And I was like, yes, please. I'm thinking this year, starting out 2020, simply. I really love what I was able to achieve in just 2 colors. And like, I'm starting my own little path of saying, okay, let's dumb it down color-wise and see what I can make pattern-wise. Like, how do I make something interesting with as many moving pieces as possible? So for me, I'm simplifying the colors, and then what kind of shapes, how do I make interest? And it's kind of like, for me, giving myself parameters, but also trying to learn how to be more creative. It's almost like make do. What is it? Mend and make do. So back in the Depression era, they would have nothing to spend, and they would reuse, repurpose.
Which we should be doing anyways.
So like, this is going to be in my stash, and this, there's nothing to say I couldn't dye some of this. You know, like, okay, well.
Is it hard to dye blue?
Well, this red could become black.
True.
You know, so I don't know. I mean, like, it's all experimentation.
It's been a month of experimenting.
Had to have it. So
Yay!
I'm sad to see the store go, but I got some 4 other different Alison glass fabrics that was like 2 yards a piece. And I think it was like, I must have paid like $2.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, I got enough to make a true size lap blanket.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
So that's all, for reals, that's all I've got. Oh.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to show. I literally, like I said, I've been experimenting, but in December, I wanted to knit everything I saw. You ever had that thing that you're like, I want to knit that you knit nothing because you're so confused about what to knit next? I think that was part of my dilemma in December as well. There's so much I want to knit. I'm still working on my cobblestone sweater. I put it in timeout for a little bit. As you know, a couple episodes ago, I was like 80% finished. Then I ripped it all back because it didn't fit. And then I started again. I did 1 sleeve. I'm on the 2nd sleeve, and I got about here to the 2nd sleeve. I held it up to the other one, and it was like much larger than the other one, even though I was using the same needles and everything.
Same count?
Same count, everything. So I ripped it out and I said, you are going in timeout for a little bit. So I'm still working on that. It's just kind of on the back burner, but eventually I'll get another sweater cooking.
I'm just thinking about him. That's a fun story. It's a great story. But what I'm thinking, I'm thinking about, Seamus got, for Christmas, he got some new catnip. Man, is he loving it.
He loves the new stuff.
And it's funny because he's not, other than the coffee table, he doesn't really get up on tables. So this is like, I don't know what, he's just feeling himself today.
Like he doesn't get on the dining room table or the kitchen counter, but for some reason this table I think is a free-for-all because, I don't know. All
right, so I think that's all we've got for now. Is that true?
I think that's all we got. It's going to be a new year. We're going to do new stuff. I don't know what I'm doing with my body right now. I know you have the Sew Expo coming up in
February?
End of February. We are going to Vogue Knitting Live in March because it's right down the street. And we may go to, let's just say we have a free place to stay in Kingston next to Rhinebeck in October. And all we pretty much have to do is pay for our flight. So why would we not go? So we're thinking about Rhinebeck in 2020. And yeah, whatever else comes our way. So I'm excited for the year, and hopefully we can bring more content to everybody. And
and so I'm not making a lot. Like I never make resolutions, but I will say I'm going to do better. It's not a promise. It's not a full commitment, but I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better in general.
At life in general?
And finishing projects, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to rub. Who's out there? Sorry, something's pulling. Okay. That's all I have. I got nothing left.
All right. So it's nice seeing you. I hope it's nice seeing us.
Yes. We have no sign-off still. So we will talk to you guys very soon.
Until next time.
Happy New Year.
Happy crafting.
Happy crafting New Year.
Oh my God, bye.
Bye. Oh, you're so cute.